All right, let's jump right in. Right now, there's a massive U.S. military deployment unfolding near Venezuela. And on the surface, it's being sold as one thing. But when you look at the sheer scale of it and the timing, well, it's raising some pretty serious questions about what's really going on. And that really gets to the heart of what we're talking about today. Is this whole thing just an anti-drug mission, like the White House says it is? Or is it actually a cover for something much, much bigger? A mask for a potential war? Okay, so to really get a handle on this, let's start with the official line. What exactly is the administration telling everyone this is all about? The public story is, well, pretty simple. It's all about fighting crime. The White House is saying, look, we're doing this to stop the flow of drugs in the Caribbean. They're calling it a crusade against cartels. But, and this is a big but, this is where things start to get a whole lot murkier. Yeah, because when you start to peel back the layers of this onion, you see that what they're calling a crusade, well, the equipment they're using tells a totally different story. This is no ordinary police action, not by a long shot. So first up, let's just talk about the number of people. We're talking 4,000 U.S. sailors and Marines. I mean, just think about that for a second. That is a huge military presence for something that's supposedly just an anti-drug operation. And then there's the gear they brought with them. We're not talking about a couple of patrol boats here, no. We're talking guided missile destroyers. We're talking advanced spy planes. They even brought an attack submarine to the party. This is, without a doubt, a serious show of military force. And this is where it gets really interesting. An anonymous official at the State Department let it slip that these forces are prepared to launch, get this, selective attacks. Now that phrase, selective attacks, that sounds a lot different than just stopping drug smugglers, doesn't it? It points to something way more aggressive. Okay, so let's start connecting some of these dots, right? This whole military move isn't just happening out of the blue. It's going on at the exact same time as a major political pressure campaign, a campaign aimed squarely at one country, Venezuela. And here's the kicker. While these warships are getting into position, the U.S. government doubles the reward money for the capture of Venezuela's president, Nicolás Maduro. I mean, come on. The timing is it's too perfect to be a coincidence, right? So you see the two stories playing out here. You've got the official line, we're fighting narcoterrorism. But then you have the unspoken story, the one you see when you connect the dots. This looks a whole lot like direct military pressure aimed right at the government in Venezuela. Which naturally brings up a really important question. The entire public reason for this operation hangs on these claims of narcoterrorism. So what's the evidence? How solid is it? Well, here's the thing. According to the reporting we're looking at, despite all the accusations being thrown around for years, neither the Department of Justice nor the State Department has actually come forward with any hard public evidence to prove their claims. So you might be wondering, if the evidence is so shaky, how are they justifying this legally? Well, it turns out there's a very specific legal playbook they're using, one that kind of smudges the line between fighting crime and, well, fighting a war. It basically works in 3 steps. Step 1, you label drug cartels as global terrorists. That's the magic word, terrorists. Because once you do that, you unlock Step 2. Now you have a legal reason to use the military, not just the police. And the result, Step 3, is that the line between a law enforcement operation and a full-blown military intervention gets incredibly blurry. Now, you can bet this massive show of force hasn't gone unnoticed by Venezuela's neighbors. So let's zoom out for a minute and see how the rest of Latin America is reacting to all this. And the reaction has been pretty strong. Mexico's President, Claudia Sheinbaum, didn't mince words. She's confirmed that Mexico's official stance is to reject any and all U.S. military intervention. That's not just polite diplomatic speak, folks. That is a firm, unmistakable pushback. And what she's really doing there is defending a huge principle in international relations called self-determination. It's this core idea that every nation has the right to figure out its own path, to choose its own government without some other country sticking its nose in. And that's really the heart of the issue here. For many countries in the region, this doesn't look like the U.S. helping out with a drug problem. To them, it looks like a throwback, a new wave of American interventionism that tramples all over the right of these nations to be independent. Okay, so let's pull all of this together. Why should you care about all this? What's the big picture here? When you boil it all down, here's what you've got. You have anti-drug talk being used as a potential cover for military pressure. You've got legal loopholes being used to blur that critical line between police work and warfare. And this isn't just about one country. This kind of action has the potential to destabilize an entire region. And at its core, it questions the very idea that a nation gets to run itself. And so it leaves us with this one huge, lingering question. When a country sends in attack submarines and destroyers to go after criminals, where exactly is the line between policing the world and military intervention? And maybe even more important, who gets to draw that line?